The fluorescent lights of the emergency room buzzed overhead as Marcus sat with his daughter's small hand wrapped around his finger, but his mind was somewhere else entirely, on the sobbing voice of a stranger he'd heard just hours before, a voice that would change everything he thought he knew about second chances. Marcus Chen had been a single father for 3 years, ever since his wife Emma lost her battle with cancer. Every morning felt like swimming through concrete, but he kept going for Lily, his 7-year-old daughter who still asked when mommy was coming home. He worked double shifts as an electrician, packed lunches with uneven sandwiches, and braided hair that never quite looked like the YouTube tutorials. But he showed up. Every single day, he showed up. It was a Tuesday evening when everything shifted. Marcus had just picked up Lily from after-school care, running 15 minutes late as usual, when his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. Telemarketers had become his nemesis, but something made him swipe right. "Hello," he said, wedging the phone between his shoulder and ear while buckling Lily into her car seat. Silence. Then, a sound that made his blood run cold. Sobbing. Deep, guttural crying that spoke of a pain beyond words. "Hello. Are you okay?" Marcus's voice softened immediately. Lily looked up at him with curious eyes. I'm sorry," a woman's voice broke through the tears. "I dialed the wrong number. I was trying to reach, it doesn't matter. I'm so sorry." Most people would have said a polite goodbye. Marcus should have. He had groceries melting in the trunk, homework to supervise, and a mountain of laundry that had achieved sentience. But something in that voice, the raw desperation, the kind of pain he recognized from his own darkest nights, made him pause. "Hey, it's okay. You don't have to hang up," he heard himself say. "Are you safe? Do you need me to call someone for you?" The woman on the other end let out a shaky breath. I don't have anyone to call anymore. That's kind of the problem." Marcus glanced at Lily, who was now engrossed in her tablet. He started the car but didn't pull away. "My name's Marcus. You don't have to tell me yours if you don't want to. But if you need someone to listen right now, I've got some time." What followed was 45 minutes of a conversation that Marcus would never forget. The woman's name was Sarah. She'd just received her final denial for a life-saving surgery, her third insurance rejection in 6 months. At 34 years old, she'd been told to get her affairs in order. She had no family left, her parents had passed away years ago, and she'd devoted her life to caring for them, sacrificing her own relationships and career. Now, facing her own mortality, she'd tried to call a crisis helpline but misdialed in her panic. "I just wanted someone to know I existed," Sarah whispered. "That I was here. That I mattered, even if just for a moment." Marcus felt something crack open in his chest. He knew that feeling, the desperate need to be seen, to matter, to know that your existence left some kind of ripple in the universe. He'd felt it every night after Emma died, staring at the ceiling, wondering if he was enough for Lily. "You matter," he said firmly. "I don't know you, but I know that much is true. And I'm going to help you figure this out." Sarah laughed bitterly. "You can't fix this. Nobody can. But thank you for listening. You're a good person." Marcus drove home that night with his mind racing. He got Lily fed, bathed, and in bed, reading her favorite story about a brave little mouse who helped a lion. After she fell asleep, he sat at his kitchen table with his laptop and started researching. Sarah had mentioned she lived in Phoenix, about 2 hours away. She needed a specific cardiac surgery that cost $250,000. Impossible numbers for most people. Impossible numbers for him. But Marcus had learned something in his 3 years of single parenthood. Impossible just meant you hadn't found the right approach yet. He started a crowdfunding campaign at midnight. He wrote Sarah a story, with her permission, obtained through several more phone calls over the next few days. He shared it everywhere: social media, community boards, local news outlets, his daughter's school newsletter. He called the hospital and negotiated with billing departments. He contacted medical advocacy groups. The response was slow at first. $100 here, $50 there. Marcus added his own meager savings, money he'd been putting away for Lily's college fund. Then something unexpected happened. A local news station picked up the story. "Single dad helps stranger after wrong number call" became a segment on the evening news. The donations started flooding in. Teachers, truck drivers, retired nurses, teenagers donating their allowance money. $5, $20, sometimes thousands from anonymous donors. People shared stories in the comments about their own struggles, their own moments when a stranger's kindness had saved them. The campaign grew beyond Phoenix, beyond Arizona. It went viral in a way that restored Marcus's faith in humanity. But the real miracle came 2 weeks later. A cardiac surgeon in California, Drive. Patricia Reeves, saw the news story. She'd lost her own sister to the same condition Sarah had. She contacted the campaign and offered to perform the surgery pro bono. A medical device company donated the equipment needed. The hospital agreed to waive facility fees. Marcus picked up his phone, Sarah's number now saved in his contacts, with shaking hands. "Sarah, it's Marcus. I need you to sit down." When he told her, she couldn't speak for a full minute. Then she whispered, "Why? Why would you do this for someone you don't even know?" Marcus looked across the room at the photo of Emma on the mantle, then at Lily's shoes scattered by the door. "Because someone once told me that the meaning we're looking for isn't in grand gestures or perfect moments. It's in showing up, in answering the call, even when it's not meant for you. Especially when it's not meant for you." The surgery was successful. Sarah's recovery took months, but Marcus and Lily visited her in the hospital, bringing flowers and terrible drawings and bags of grapes. Sarah cried when she met them, not the desperate tears of that first phone call, but tears of gratitude, of hope, of being seen. Now, 6 months later, Marcus sat in that emergency room with Lily because she'd taken a tumble off the monkey bars at school. Nothing serious, just a sprained wrist that needed wrapping. But as they waited, he watched the people around him. An elderly man holding his wife's hand. A young mother pacing with a feverish baby. A teenager with scared eyes and no one beside him. His phone buzzed. A text from Sarah. "Starting my new job today. Wish me luck. P.S. You're still the best wrong number I ever dialed." Marcus smiled and typed back quickly. Then he looked up at the teenager sitting alone, his eyes red-rimmed and frightened. "Hey," Marcus said gently, walking over. "Are you here by yourself? Do you need someone to sit with you?" The boy looked up, surprise and relief flooding his features. Yeah, that would be nice." Marcus sat down beside him, Lily curling up on his other side. "Because that's what you did. You answered the call. You showed up. You reminded people that they mattered. Even when, especially when, it wasn't meant for you."